Hey guys, what's happening? This is NoJ bringing you a narrated Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. This is with LL or Lucario Legend, as he is going to be the person that is the first person in this battle, and he is battling another member who I can't really pronounce his name, so his name will be on the screen right now and in the description. Anyway, this is a 5th gen UU match for the tournament for the Olympics, and if you take a look at LL's team right now, it's a very well structured team. It does have a Fire, Grass, Water core, which is the best core that you can have because the defensive and the types really work out really well. He's a Flygon, which is Scarfed. He has a Steel type, which is his Registeel, and Steel counters really great things because of all its resistances, and he has a Heracross. So let's jump right into the battle. His opponent is going to lead with a Cofagrigus, and he's going to lead off with his Scarfed Flygon because his nickname is KK Thinks By, which is basically he's going to do a move and get the heck out of there. So he is going to go for the U-turn. He gets the Mummy ability, doesn't really mean anything, and he is going to go into his Shaman, predicting the Will-O-Wisp really nicely. And this is fine for a Shaman because they have the natural cure ability, which means when they switch out of there, that Pern is going to be no more. So anyway, he is going to go for the Leech Seed right now because this Cofagrigus really can't do much to him as he goes for the Nightshade, which I really don't see on the Cofagrigus. I want to say 100% of the time I see the Calm Mind sets. But this is a very interesting set, which is a bit more of a wallish one. And the Leech Seed is going to take its toll right here. But no worries, he is going to switch out, and he's going to go into his Rotom Wash because he thinks that that would be the best thing to counter this Cofagrigus as he switches into a Flygon, which is not good whatsoever for LL because the Flygons do carry the Stone Edge. So he's going to switch out into his Registeel, and he's going to take that Stone Edge really nicely. This is great because Registeels do carry a lot of either the Toxic or the Thunder Wave, and they might even carry the Stealth Rocks. So he's going to switch out of there. His opponent's going to go into the Cofagrigus, and he is just going to go for the Poison, the Toxic, which is going to be able to poison the Cofagrigus, and that's awesome because the Cofagrigus really can't do anything when it's under pressure, such as when it has that Poison, because Poison does more damage each and every turn. And he's going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, but Lucario Legend predicts that beautifully, and it's going to go into his Rotom Heat form, which is immune to it because he's also a Fire type. So the only thing that's left to do is his opponent is going to switch out as he goes for the Discharge, predicting the Thunder type move really nicely because Flygon is part ground, and ground types are immune to the Thunder type attacks. And he's going to go for the Earthquake, predicting LL to go into his Registeel, going to take a whole lot of damage from that Earthquake. And because he doesn't want to take another one, and because most Flygons are Scarfed, he's going to switch out, going into his Flygon, predicting the another Earthquake, but his opponent's predicting him really well in return, double switching because he knows that the Flygon is going to be able to come out. So he's just going to go for the U-turn. It's not going to do too much damage, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter because he just wants to get out of there. He knows that he cannot one-shot the Cofagrigus from this point, and he's going to go back into his Rotom Wash or Rotom Heat. So there's a lot of switching out against the three same Pokemon, but that is a really good strategy. He's slowly withering down the health of a lot of the Pokemon. He's just going to go for the Overheat right now. He wants to get a lot of damage out of the way of the Cofagrigus as the Cofagrigus goes for the Rain Dance. And you know the only reason why a Pokemon will go for the Rain Dance, unless they don't have the Drizzle ability such as on a Politoed, is because they have a Rain Abuser such as a Kingdra, like he is going to bring in here. But LL is going to predict that nicely. He's going to go for the Discharge. He's luckily going to get that Paralyze, which completely renders the Rain Dance useless because Rain Dance will times his speed times 2. Anyway, he's just going to go for the Draco Meteor as he goes into his Slowbro, and it's going to take a hefty amount of damage, probably predicting the Kingdra to be a physical attacker, but is indeed a special attacker. And he's going to have to get out of there because Registeel completely walls that as he gets his Rocks up, which is really great. Some people argue that Rocks are the most important move in the game because when a Pokemon switches into the battlefield, it is going to be able to take damage from those Stealth Rocks. He's just going to go for the Iron Head. He is not the flinching point doesn't even matter because he's finally going to be able to kill the second Pokemon off in this game, and it's going to be a 5-5 tied score right now as his opponent goes into a Flygon, and he's going to switch out of there, predicting the Earthquake again, and he's going to go into his own Flygon, and I believe he does kind of predict it, but at the same time the U-turn is going to do a hefty amount of damage. That was a critical hit, which did a whole lot more damage than it should have. I believe it does 3 more times damage than it should have done right there, as he goes into his Blastoise, which is a really cool Pokemon in UU. I personally use it all the time, and he's going to go for the Protect, being really smart, seeing what he's going to lock himself into, because Lucario Legend is also using a Scarf Flygon. He's just going to go for the U-turn again, and he's going to have to go into something that will be able to wall this Blastoise, and he thinks that the best option is going to be able to go into his Registeel, because he knows the opponent knows the Registeel's moveset. He's going to get the crit right there, it doesn't really matter, but the opponent knows his moveset, and he doesn't really know any of the other Pokemon's movesets. I would have probably gone into the Shaman, even if the Blastoise has that Ice Beam. A Seed Flare should be able to 1-KO it. Anyway, he's going to go into a Smeargle, as I think LL just went for the Toxic. And Smeargle is one of the most coolest Pokemon because it can learn so many different moves. He's going to go for the Spore right there, which is a 100% accuracy sleeping move. So now the Registeel is going to be sleeping, and he's going to have to switch out because he definitely doesn't want this Registeel to be sleeping while the Smeargle can set up or put up entry hazards or whatever. So he is going to be able to get up those Stealth Rocks right here, as LL goes into his Flygon, and he's going to go for the Earthquake. He definitely doesn't want to go for the U-turn, thinking that the Smeargle might be able to live, and he is going to be able to clearly one-hit KO that Smeargle. So now LL is winning 5-4, and he's going to have to switch out of there because, again, that Flygon is immune to it, as he goes into his Toilet, basically as Death Fodder, because the Toilet is sleeping, and he doesn't really have a purpose in the match. He isn't really going to be able to do much while he is sleeping, as his opponent goes for the U-turn and is going to go right back into his Blastoise. I don't know why he would go into his Blastoise. I personally would go into a Sweeper. I'm going to try to maybe do a lot of damage to it. As you see, that Scald right there didn't do too much damage, but if he went into one of his Sweepers, I feel like he could be doing a whole lot more damage, or setting up, or getting up a substitute, or really whatever. Anyway, he wakes up, he's going to go for the the Stealth Rocks, as his opponent goes for the Dragon Tail. And now he's going to send out his Heracross, which is a beast Pokemon, has so much so much attack, and so much speed. But he's going to have to switch out of there because he knows the Dragon Tail is coming, or maybe the Scald is coming, and he doesn't want his Heracross to be burned. So he's going to let his Registeel take it, and it doesn't really do too much damage. So he's going to go for the Protect right here, as the Registeel goes for the Toxic, which isn't going to hit the Blastoise, unfortunately. But he's going to be able to, he's going to go for it again as his opponent goes into his Kingdra, and that is also unfortunate because the Kingdra already has the Paralysis, so it doesn't really matter what LL does at this point. He's just going to go for the Earthquake, trying to get some minimal damage as the Kingdra gets paralyzed, so that's unfortunate. There is a bit of hacks coming around this battle, but anyway, he's going to go for the Iron Head, doing the Flinch, Para-Flinch combination, and he does get another Flinch right there, basically trying to get this Kingdra out of the game slowly but surely. But he is going to be able to go for the Hydro Pump right here, and it's going to do a massive amount of damage, but unfortunately enough for his opponent, it isn't going to do too much. This is probably a careful Registeel looking at amount that the Hydro Pump did. So anyway, his opponent is going to go into the Girluck, which is a Ghost and Ground type, I want to say. He's going to go for the Toxic. It doesn't affect the Girluck, which I don't really know why, and he's just going to go for the Bulldoze, which is a Ground type move, and it is going to be able to KO. So I believe the score is 4-3 in LL's favor as he goes into his Rotom Heat form, and it's just going to go for the Overheat, trying to do a lot of damage to the Girluck. Unfortunately, it is not going to be able to one-hit KO him, and the Girluck is going to be able to do whatever it wants. He's going to go for the Shadow Punch, which isn't super effective, but it is stab, and it does a massive amount of HP, and now they're both in the red zone. Well, LL isn't in the red zone anymore, but he's going to be able to go for the Overheat, which is at -2, but it is going to do enough to KO the Girluck. So I believe it's 4-2 right now. I'm not really keeping track of the score, but I know that LL is in the lead Pokemon-wise, as his opponent goes into the Scarf Flygon again, and he's going to go for the Outrage, which is an interesting move to lock himself into, but on the other hand, LL doesn't have anything to necessarily resist it, so I believe that was a safe move. Anyway, he is going to go into his Heracross. I don't know why. Maybe it was a speed tie, maybe he thought that this Flygon was not Scarf, but his Heracross goes down easily as he goes into his own Flygon, and now it's basically a test to see who's faster. But the other Flygon wins the battle, and he is going to be able to take out another one of LL's Pokemon. So I believe it's tied at this point. I'm not really sure. Again, I'm not really counting. As he goes into his Shaman, which is a beast of a Pokemon, and you're going to see right here that his opponent is going to hit himself in the face with the Confusion. He's going to go for the Substitute, really banking on that Confusion. If he didn't confuse himself, it probably would have been the game right there, as he gets off an Outrage right here. It is going to be able to break his sub, but on the other hand, he is going to get off a Seed Flare, which is stabbed. It should do neutral damage, and it doesn't quite KO him. It leaves him in the really small yellow zone, as his opponent unfortunately hits himself in the face in the confusion again. Probably if he hit one of those outrages, he probably would have won the game, looking at it from a bystander's standpoint, as he goes into his Blastoise right here. And I don't know why the Shaman is going to go for a substitute as he goes for the Scald, predicting the Scald very nicely, and is not going to be able to break this up. So basically he is going to get a free chance to go for the Seed Flare right here, which is awesome because Seed Flare is going to do a whole lot of damage to the Blastoise, but he actually goes for the Leech Seed, I guess wanting to stall out the Blastoise. As you see, his HP is pretty low, the Shaman's HP is pretty low, but he's going to get a lot of HP back from the leftovers and a Leech Seed, and his substitute is still intact. This is an awesome Shaman. I believe it's the one with 252 EVs and HP, which means it's very bulky. But finally, he is going to go for the Seed Flare. It is stabbed, it is super effective, and it's not going to be able to KO the Leonardo, mostly because, I want to say, a calm nature, but the Blastoise is going to go for the Rapid Spin right there, which does not only get rid of the Stealth Rocks, but it also gets rid of the Leech Seed, which is really cool. But anyway, this is a 1-on-1 scenario, and LL does have the game at this point. Another Seed Flare is going to be able to win it. So I just want to take the chance to say good game, both of you guys, and definitely if you guys enjoyed this battle, definitely give this a thumbs up or leave a comment or really anything, because I love hearing this from the channel. The channel has grown so much. If you guys like this commentary, please check out my channel, which be on the screen right now and in the description. I do this all the time, 3 times a week. You guys will love it. So thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and take care.